Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the live stream. We're live and we're looking at comic books late at night here. I guess that's okay, right? The lighting could be a bit better. Let's see. Um, I don't know if that did anything. Maybe this is fine. How are you? How are you doing? We're looking at comics tonight. It was a great day. I just woke up from a nap. It was very hot today. I got drunk, had a lot of fun, almost got in trouble, uh, made it home safely, fell asleep, woke up, and I smell terrific. That's just the thing is I woke up and I smell so good. I'm like, why do I smell I smell like a perfume, like a girl? So I'm pretty sure earlier today that there was a girl rubbing. It's I can smell a girl that was rubbing up against me. I do remember that was happening. I remember a little bit about it, but she smells good. I don't. At the time, I was really drunk, and I wasn't. There was a lot of smells around. And I wasn't logging it in properly because I was impaired. But yeah, my shirt smells fantastic, so it puts me in a good mood. And so I felt like looking at comic books. So I already took these two out of their bags. That's my bag, is to take comics out of their bags. So we already took these two out just to take the thumbnail. So we're going to look at these two first. We'll get rid of the bags. Move them out of here. All right. So this is Master Comics. It's a Fawcett publication. Hopalong Cassidy is their top guy. He's like their Superman. Master Comics, February, 10 cents. It's number 88. Look at that. Captain Marvel Jr. and the Wreckers. Also Bullet Man, Nyoka, and introducing Hopalong Cassidy. What does that mean, introducing Hopalong Cassidy? Is this the first Hopalong Cassidy? Is this the first time Hopalong Cassidy is being featured in Master Comics? I don't know. Not really sure. While they last, all brand new, genuine U.S. Army Air Force flying helmets. They were $1 a piece. Wouldn't you? Man, I would have ordered one of these for sure, right? Olive drab fabric. Well, it's not really the helmet. Well, I guess it is, but it's like a liner. I mean, maybe this is what they used. I don't know. Look at this cat. These Air Force flying helmets cost government $2 to make. What? Cost government $2 to make. What's wrong with that guy? Mothers. These helmets are today's best buy. This is what I would show my mom. Let's say for school, for play, even for the summer or winter, it's going to protect your kid from a head injury. There was actually a kid in my neighborhood that had to wear a helmet when he was outside riding his big wheel. We didn't ridicule or make fun of him or anything, but we had known that he had some sort of a soft spot on his skull. It had been fractured earlier, so now he had to wear like a little kid's like hockey helmet, which was a very unusual thing in like 1971. Little kids didn't have to wear helmets anywhere, especially not on a bicycle or a big wheel. But he was wearing one on his big wheel, so his mom would be happy to get him one of these Air Force flight helmets. What's the year on this? February 1948, number 88. February 1948. What was I doing in February 1948? Man, let me think. V.A. Provisoro. That's a suspicious sounding name. Were Fawcett is Fawcett Publications mobbed up? Well, he's just the editor. Yeah, no, that doesn't mean anything. I thought he was like the publisher or something. Executive editor, that sounds normal. Wholesome entertainment, approved reading. This is the magazines that they put out, and there's just a bunch of good ones, right? Look at them all. Captain Marvel Adventures, Whiz Comics. I thought that was a funny title when I was a kid. Captain Marvel Jr., Master Comics. I think it's a funny title as an adult. The Marvel Family. That's a great title. Don Winslow of the Navy. I don't have any. I've never read one. I understand they're good. Fawcett's Funny Animals. Sounds good. Tom Mix, Ozzy and Babs. Don't know what that is. Captain Midnight. Never read one. Mary Marvel. She's cute. Nyoka. I don't. I do have one. I have two. I've got a couple of Nyoka. I don't have any Hopalong. I don't have any WoW comics. It's a great title. I've seen some of the covers. This is Fawcett's signature. Explosive action starring the world's mightiest boy, Captain Marvel Jr. in the Wreckers. So it's said by many people. I can't remember if I've ever actually seen Elvis say it himself, like in an interview or something. But people have been saying for years throughout my whole life that this was Elvis's favorite comic or favorite superhero. Captain Marvel Jr. is what Elvis read. That's what people said. And it's also where he got certain things about his stage attire or his haircut. People say that he got that from this. So let's take a look in this issue and see if we see any Elvis sightings. Captain Marvel Jr. I mean, he looks like Elvis, doesn't he? Kind of does. Or Elvis looks like him. This is 1948. So if Elvis is reading this and he's a kid, he already looks like this. This is like what Elvis looked like in Memphis in 1948, probably. Right? I mean, it kind of looks like him. That's interesting, right? That it does. Kind of looks a little bit. Ooh, look at this cat. Looks like a Dick Tracy villain, right? That's great. The Wreckers. See the little smirk he's got? Man. Maybe it's just because I think, because of, like I said, because like my whole life, people have said, oh, yeah, this is Elvis's favorite comic. He grew up reading Captain Marvel Jr., and that's why he's got the little cape and the haircut and the whole thing. But then I look at this, and maybe because it's programmed in my brain, but that kind of looks like Elvis if I squint an eye or something. So I mean that's probably real. Maybe he got a little bit of everything from Captain Marvel Jr. You know, not just the clothes. Maybe in here. I haven't read. You know, it's been a while. Remember the Elvis trading cards from the late 70s with all the stars? I don't remember those. I wish I did. No. So they would have come out after his death, I guess. With all the stars. You mean there were other stars, you know, like with him, like pictures of other celebrities with Elvis? Or with actual, like, constellations? Bud Foster. Champion basketball coach from the University of Wisconsin. It's a Wheaties ad. The whole thing's a Wheaties ad. No, just as a design motif. Okay. I don't remember them. I'll look them up, perhaps. Were they cool? I guess they were cool. I never had any Elvis cards. I have some JFK cards, like a full set of JFK cards. It's kind of strange, right? Lumberjack, snappy answer. This looks good. Nyoka the Jungle Girl and the Hidden Fear. All right, I like it. That looks okay. And this Fawcett, I can tell you one thing about it is that this is a hefty comic. So these pages in this book are solid. Like they're thicker than like a, you know what I mean? This is This is when you hold this in hand. This is why my older cousins would be bitching when they would come in my room and they would look at a DC or a Marvel comic in 1975, and they'd be like, "Dude, this is a comic book now? It's like cheap paper. It's like we're oh, you got all these ads." They would say stuff like that, and I wouldn't get what they were talking about. But when you get one of these in hand, this is heavier than our comics. This is more. It's heavier. This is heavier paper, and it's lasted. This is like 70 something years old, and this is a reading copy that it still works perfectly fine. You could read it still. I like this panel. Where is it? This panel. So I zero in on on panels, man. This one's good too. Oh, look at these. Oh, these are all good. Is she got this is the lion's tail that she's hanging on to, right? Yeah. She grabs onto it. This is Nyoka in action. She pulls herself up on the lion's tail. She grabs a spear. That's a nice panel too. Wow, this whole page. That's a great page, right? Ooh. Help me drown, he says. Ooh, and she's throwing the spear right at us. Okay, this is pretty good. Look at that. That's an interesting panel too. Wow. Shit. Get in order. What the hell are you doing, Meyer? This is good stuff. So I like this. So Nyoka, this is this comic is drawn, better than the Elvis comic. This is really good. Look at that panel right there. Wow. Wow. I like the hands. Yeah, this is good stuff, man. Bloob Stutter's Bangtail Bonanza. Help me drown could be misunderstood if he's trying to get saved. Yeah, I know. He's saying he's speaking in broken English. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. If you didn't read it properly, if you thought that was a complete sentence instead of two sentences, because it's two sentences, yes, it could be trouble. How to change a tire at night. Master Comics advertisement. Oh man, come on. They got to make sure her skirt's over her knee. See how they do us like this? This is an ever-ready battery commercial. It's so that you have batteries for your flashlight so you can change the tire. This is a long text story, huh? Bangtail Bonanza, Blood Stutter. What was that? It was a weird title. Willy Wonder. Willie or won't he? Willie or won't he? Willie Wonder, no movies tomorrow, young man, with a cough like that. Cough. Willie's dream. Oh, dude, he's having a night terror about the Smith brothers. Too bad, Mark, to let him miss Buck Bucko and the number 3 gunman. Yes, Trade, when Smith brothers cough drops give such quick relief. He's terrified in his dream. Then he wakes up and he doesn't remember anything because he's got to backlog everything, keep all the really creepy shit out of his current psyche. And not enough kids wear those little hats anymore. What were those things called? What is this? I thought you'd clip that out. I guess it's set up so you could cut it out and do something with it. But buy Smith Brothers cough drops, delicious, effective, only 5 cents. This is all Smith Brothers. Oh no, here's Winchester made skates. They did, dude. I wonder how many people died because of these Winchester skates. And then Mary Winchester, she had to build extra rooms just for the victims of the skates in addition to the rifles, right? A lot of people don't know about that. A lot of people don't know that the super speed roller skates produced by the Winchester Repeating Arms Company, these were deadly skates. A lot of people were killed because of these skates. And the guilt that Mary Winchester carried with her through life because of this invention of the super speed you know, because these are super speed. They're just not like regular roller skates. It's like the advent of the Winchester repeating rifle. It's the same thing except with roller skates. And a lot of people died. She saw some mediums. She got into sorcery and otherworldly contact with seances and stuff like that. And she built rooms for the victims of the skates. Colonel Corn and Corny Cobb in Uncle Jeeves' Arrival. I like that title, and look at the lettering, is pretty sick. Colonel Corn and Corny Cobb. Okay, that's funny to me. I think it's funny. The art's like not as good as the lettering. Colonel Corn and Corny Cobb. Is that it? Two corns in a row? A corn and a corny. Yeah. It doesn't quite flow as it should, but it's okay. Thing down here. I don't really care enough to look. Bullet Man. So this is Bullet Man, and then this is Bullet Girl, or Bullet Woman. The art's pretty good. I like the size of the panels. It's bigger, easier for me to read at my advanced age. I like Bullet Girl. This is a good shot. Whoever drew this knows what they're doing. This is pretty good too. This is one of those Freudian shots, right? Right? They're both leaving through the window, but he's going first. He's like trying to get away from her. She's chasing after him. The building itself represents your mother, right? It's birth. Yeah. And then this is like the resisting the moment of conception. Oh, and then you get this. Wow. I saw a girl do this inside of a suitcase in San Francisco. People paid good money to watch her do it. She wasn't wearing any clothes, though. See? There we go again. What did I... It's the same panel? Yeah. Yeah. This building is gestational. Oh, look at this guy. Kind of looks like Orson Welles or something. That mustache and that cigarette and the puff. Look at the puff of the double puff of smoke. Expertly blown double puff, 2 circles in a row. Again with these panels of him in this flight pose. Here he is just relaxing for once. He should be smoking, but he's not. Isn't she inside that bale of cotton? Pretty sure she is. Yeah, now she's going to drown in it, inside of this fake bale of cotton, and she looks hot. She's all tied up. She's got her bullet helmet over here, and water's dripping on her head. Very uncomfortable. This is like a water torture, right? This is what's happening here. Wow. Okay. Bullet Man. Don't sleep on it. Help. Bullet Man has powers, and she's audible underwater at the bottom of the ocean. He can hear her. She can still breathe in there. He's got her out. This is great. He's going to like rip these guys' spines out or something and beat the crap out of them. Richard. Wow. Private Dick. Richard in the Lost Case. So this private detective's name is Richard. Dick Richard. I gotta stop. I could just see that this isn't. Sometimes it works perfectly when you're looking at comics because not all of them are good enough to look at closely. You know, you can find. It's like good stuff is there, but it's okay to skip stuff that obviously isn't gonna. I mean, we can pass we don't need to spend time on that. But I guess let's check out Hopalong Cassidy's apparent first appearance. Because it says on the cover, introducing Hopalong Cassidy. So if this is some sort of, I mean, obviously, this is an anthology title. Maybe some of them are continuing stories. I don't know. And if this is a continuing story, it stars, William Boyd, the actual Hopalong Cassidy that was on the top of milk bottles, I think. I think that he, like, sponsored, like, milk. He was on milk bottles. I don't know. This was a little bit before my time, but not much. The art's good. It's very cinematic, huh? They want to make sure that they make it look like Hoppy, maybe even make him a little better looking than he really was. Pals, here's a lucky treat for you. Hopalong Cassidy now appears in Master Comics as well as his own mag every month. Okay, so this was the first Hoppy appearance in Master, and it looks like they're pumping up, Master Comics. They're thinking, well, I don't know why they would think that. Captain Marvel Jr. is on the cover. I would think that he sold well, but anyway, they're bringing Hoppy over here to maybe try and pump up the sales at Master. Given wristwatch plus sparkling imitation birthstone ring. Given, what does that mean? Hand out only 20 photo harmonica. Play this new harmonica in 15 minutes or your money's back. Or your money back. Ooh, look at that. Shit. American Boy's Bill of Rights. Now we're talking. Wow, look at that. Look at the smile on his face. I got my Daisy. Don't cross me. We, the boys of America, believe in these our rights. The right to liberty, hard won by our forefathers. Heck yeah. The right to happiness that comes with the growth of a healthy body and mind. The right to gratitude, thoughtfully planned by parents, school, and church. The right to opportunity to live, learn, play, and grow up in the time-honored traditions of a free people. And the right to learn to shoot safely. We recognize and accept the responsibility imposed by these rights, but till we are old enough to vote, we expect you, oh boy, we expect you, our fathers, mothers, and other citizens who elect America's city, county, state, and federal officials to be eternally vigilant that our rights be not abridged. Dude, I'm going to make myself cry. Wow. That's rough, huh? They had no idea. He had no clue. He had no idea. This kid doesn't even know. Man, I'm sorry, son. I'm sorry. What's this? Commando, given with your order for Buck Rogers' atomic pistol holster set. Holy shit. Look at that. I want that right there. Look at that. I want that right now. I want that. Man, Daisy had it going. When I was a kid, everybody had one of these or wanted one of these. I never. Oh, look at this. Picture for your room. A large full-color reproduction of the American Boys Bill of Rights oil painting for your room. Oh, boy. Are these on eBay? If this is on eBay, I'm always saying this. Every video I find something, I say, I need to look that up on eBay, but I can't because I'm using my phone. I need to get one. This is really nice, man, even though it's so sad. Because it's so sad what it says at the end. Yeah. Daisy air rifles. This is what we're going to look at right here. No, that's not bad. 24 minutes to go through a whole comic. Like if I read it from front to, well, that's only in the like comics from the 70s. I used to be able to read them in like 13 minutes or 12 minutes. I used to time myself when I was a kid. Like the Marvel comics of like 1975, I would look at my digital alarm clock, in my room. I would look at it and see what the numbers were, and then I would start an issue of the Hulk, and then I would finish it, and I would look up at the alarm clock and see how many of those little numbers had flipped over, because it wasn't even a digital one. It was one of the ones that had the numbers that flipped that were so cool. Those were great. It's getting a little later. People are coming home. The bar. Did I tell you about the girl that got her smell all over me tonight? Or it wasn't tonight, it was during the day, but at the patio. So I come home, so I get drunk, I come home, I pass out. Uh, no, I didn't pass out, I took a nap. So I took a nap, and then when I woke up, just like about an hour before the stream, I uh, I noticed I smelled really good. I was like, man, why do I smell like a girl? It smells like it smells like a girl like in here. And then I realized it wasn't in there. It was on my shirt. And I was like, that this girl was on me at the bar. And I completely forgot all about it. And then until all the senses, because there was a lot of other sensory things being triggered on the patio and then later and then everything. So, but yeah, it smells good, man. I was like, damn, it's pretty cool. I woke up smelling good, and it put me in a good mood. Now we're gonna look at this Captain Marvel adventures in a couple minutes here. Cause she believes in me. I didn't know how much you needed me. Another Fawcett Publications, largest circulation of any comic magazine. That's probably true at this point. I think this was outselling Superman. It's number 82, March. It's a great, iconic logo. This may be faded, but at the same time, I don't think this was a true red. I think this was kind of this off red. This is a really weird character. You know, his name is Mr. Tawny. He's this anthropomorphic tiger. We're going to get into this and investigate exactly what the story is with this Mr. Tawny character and why he's hanging out arm in arm with the big red cheese, they call him, and wearing this sports jacket. It's just atrocious. It's a gauche. It's good to see you again, Mr. Tawny, but tell me, how did you, a tiger, ever learn to talk to humans? This is my question exactly. It's a long story, Captain Marvel. It all began when I was a little cub in the jungle, ... And oh, crap, I didn't realize. We're in a cover, that's in a cover in a cover. There's 3 separate covers, all of the same comic that we're reading right now. So on each cover is another comic with that cover, and on each one of those covers is 3 covers. You see what I'm saying? We got one of these. We have one of these ones, but these other ones that he's holding on, they're all 3s, and so it just exponentially increases, and it's like it's physics, or what is it? I don't know. It means something. Let's turn this Sabrina Christmas Magic to the side so we get some support on our Captain Marvel adventures. Oh, he's flexing. I like his form. I just like everything about this. So I like it. Not only do I like his overall flexing form, because it's not a complete, like, I'm totally committed to the flex. This is nothing like Hulk Hogan or like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's not like a traditional bodybuilder flex. He's just holding up a fist, not even fully flexing that fist. He's holding up the fist, showing you, hey, this fist could smash your brain. I could bust your head open like a coconut, like a melon. And then moving down, he's a thick dude, right? Look, he looks like Robert Newhouse, the fullback from the Dallas Cowboys in 1978. It's like it's just straight down. Look at that. He looks like this girl that I used to know. We used to call her Ankles McGinnis. Her name was Yvonne, but it was easier to just call her Ankles because she had these really thick ankles like that. All right. In this issue, Captain Marvel in Savannah meets Robert Mitchum build. Yeah, you know what? That is a Robert Mitchum build. And also, you know, this is interesting. You know, the last comic, we had this story that I've heard my whole life about it being Elvis's favorite comic. My whole life, I heard that this is based on Fred MacMurray, that the actor, that Captain Marvel himself, from the beginning, was based on the popular actor Fred MacMurray. That's what I heard. I don't know whether that's true or not, but that's what I always heard. Many people have said it and heard the same thing. So, yeah, he looks like I think something. He looks like somebody. Yeah, maybe Robert Mitchum, maybe his face. He's got the body of Robert Mitchum and the face of Fred MacMurray. Is that it? What a combination. I wish I had Robert Mitchum's body and Fred MacMurray's face. And it was 19, what year is this? I don't at all. I'm just kidding. I'm perfectly happy with my face and body. March 1948. Okay. I like Fred MacMurray in his menacing roles. Man, I haven't seen them. I'm just guessing that maybe he did like film or noir like stuff in the. I can't think of one of his menacing roles. All I can think of is him being, nice guy. I'd like to see those. I'll look them up and I'll watch them. Film noir type stuff, huh? Where he's supposed to be the good guy, but then he's the bad guy, or maybe he's just straight up the bad guy. So this is a really well-drawn comic, as you can see here. You can just see Double Indemnity and the apartment. Okay, I love the apartment, and the apartment. He is a complete asshole and a bad guy. You're right. I don't think I've ever seen Double Indemnity. In the apartment is a toy that I have. So there's a scene with Fred MacMurray in. So where is it? Where the hell is it at? Hold on. Where's the rocket launcher? So I have this toy. It's called Project Yankee Doodle, and it's an old big box toy from the 1950s. And in the apartment, there's a scene where Jack Lemmon, I think, calls Fred MacMurray's house on Christmas Day, and he's sitting by the Christmas tree, and he's got two sons or one son, and they're playing under the tree with a toy. The toy that they're playing with is the exact rocket launching toy that I have, called Project Yankee Doodle. Isn't that cool? I was like, whoa. So, and I didn't even know that. I learned about that from a comment on the video. I made a couple of videos about that toy, and somebody commented and said, hey, I don't know if you know this, but this toy is in the apartment. And I was like, what? Yeah. Look at how well drawn this is. So this is Dr. Sivana. It's dressed up like this woman or not. Or this is Dr. Sivana's sister. I don't know. This is really good comics, though. These all hold up. There's something to this, what's happening here, this kind of odd thing. It's kind of similar to, looking at it, it's kind of similar to what Will Eisner was doing with The Spirit. It's this soft, it's a dirty place, but it's cleaned up with a soft level of cartooning somehow, and given some humor, but at the same time, it's like you got to be fairly smart to even get the humor. It's not like over the top, like there's some weird stuff in here. It's good. I like stuff with unexplained and unexpected depth. Like what I was just saying about this. This is edgy, like The Spirit was edgy, but it's drawn in this, this kind of cinematic way. My folks got the same stone plant holder that's in Invasion from the Body Snatchers. Really? In the first one or in the 1979 San Francisco version? Plant holder. Do you still have said plant holder? Dopey Danny D. Wow, look at that. The 50s one. Okay, that's great, man. That's great. Look at this. Sometimes when I see stuff like this reminds me of the undergrounds of the night. Still got it. Outstanding. This reminds me of the undergrounds from the 1970s that I grew up looking at in the late 70s, early 80s mostly. But I was looking at undergrounds from, 5, 10, 15 years before because I worked at this kind of greasy comic shop. Um, and it was very small and there was like unorganized stuff. There was stuff that wasn't for sale and you know what I mean? There was all kinds of stuff. It was just me in the entire shop. For my shift because I worked a late shift, like an evening shift. So this reminds me of what people like Crumb were probably reading and the other people too that I was looking at, Gilbert Shelton, and, a bunch of the other ones. There's that pose again. This is nice. Look at how cool that is. And this is quality. Again, this Fawcett publication, this is a heavy comic book. It's not like thin. I mean, this is a heavy book, and it's from 1948. And like I said, this is a reading copy that was probably never put in like an expensive bag or anything like that. Never really been taken care of. It probably passed around different collectors or something. I don't know where it came from, but it's it's still very solid. Look at how cool this looks. Look at this cat. Wow, what the heck? He looks awesome. How's this look on what do you watch? Hey John, if you're still there, how does this look on whatever device that you're on? I should pull it up on my TV. Actually, you don't need to answer that question. I could just pull it up on the TV. On the TV right now is a Harlem Globetrotters game. It's a full game from the Memorial Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee. What's the year on this? 1979, January 79, complete broadcast. I'm sorry, we're going to have to back out of this because it looks like it's great, but the volume is down. I haven't been watching it. I've been doing this. So let's see. I still have to wear this thing on my finger because if I take it off, when I take it off, I forget and I just bend my finger and I'm not supposed to bend my finger. I'm really it's supposed to be like in one of those splints or in a cast or something, but I'm so resistant to self-care. I can't keep it in those things because I have to move it around all the time, every day. I have to do stuff. I'm very finger centric. I'm using my finger all the time. I'm a finger guy. Man, did you guys see my new profile pic I threw up last night? I found some old pictures and I found this picture of me from Christmas of 1976 or not 1976. It's from 1996. It was like exactly half half my life ago. And it was a Christmas picture of me and my sons. And I had at the time I had okay, it looks pretty good on the TV. At the time I had shaved my head real short because it was 1997 or 1996, maybe it was 97, I forget. Anyway, I was down to like a number one on my head, and then it was goofy. My wife bleached my hair, so for a while I had bleach blonde hair and it was really short, and for a while, for like a year or something, and then in that picture, I let my hair it's grown out, and so it looks really funny. And I have a full goatee that isn't blonde, and it's not even blonde anymore. It's kind of weird because it's been like a long time since she's dyed it, and I just let it grow out. And it's a funny picture. And also, I was dressed up like for Christmas, and you can't see, but my kids are around me and everything. So I was like, man, this would be a great picture for YouTube. And I was vacillating between that one and this picture of me from when I was like 18 years old or 17 years old, and I've got my eyes closed. It was one of those moments where they took a picture with a whole bunch of people, and my eyes were closed at when the flash went off or something. And so I like those pictures. If you got a good picture of yourself getting caught with the flash going off and your eyes are shut, that's a good one to go with. That's a good go-to. This looks really great. Mechanics Illustrated. Wow, every single story looks great. The art is perfect throughout this entire comic. Look at this. A judge, an evil judge or something. Every page has looked outstanding. Here's another. Oops! Oh crap! Here's another silhouette panel. It looks amazing. It looks beautiful. Looks like our center spread is completely. Our centerfold area is completely loose. It's flopping in the wind. That's okay. It'll work. It'll be all right. It's only me. No one else is going to read this except my kid, and then one of the other kids, and then maybe one of my grandkids, hopefully, and maybe another grandkid, and then maybe a great grandkid will read this. That's the whole idea. Wow, what's going on here? That's the entire idea of this whole thing, of all this stuff here. Wow, look at that. This looks great. Is that like a demon that would be summoned? I love the look of this character. Look at that. We need to really save this. It almost looks like a Batman parody, doesn't it? Man, I love finding so much cool stuff I mean, I knew I owned this, but I didn't remember that this was inside of here. I didn't remember the art looked this great. So, another thing about this, let me tell you, when I was a kid, the first comic shop that I went to in Monterey, California, when I started going there in 8th grade, it was where I bought my first price guide. And it's the first place where I could go and buy comics regularly. And the the guy that ran the comic shop was that stereotypical, like, grumpy, really mean older guy. And he had like regular customers that would come in, and behind the counter in the shop it was like a lounge. There was like a refrigerator back there, and like a hot plate and a couple couches, and there were boxes of comics that were completely unavailable to everybody who didn't know Bob. And so I'd be sitting there going through the stacks, because he had these stacks that were 25 cents, these comics that were 25 cents. And I would go through all these stacks, and it would take a long time, and he hated that. He wouldn't say anything, but he'd grumble back there, and then he'd grumble, and everything I brought up is 25 cents. He'd be grumbling. But whenever some dude would walk in with like a felt hat and a jacket with patches on the elbows and stuff like that, some goofy looking guy or older looking guy, Bob would know who that guy was, and they would go behind the counter, and Bob would pull out boxes of this stuff. So these guys were like specifically just collecting Fawcett Captain Marvel. He had boxes. So here's what he had behind the counter: this stuff and EC. And these older guys would come in and buy, original, all the EC stuff, and it was all ridiculously expensive to me as a kid, I would think, but by today's prices, it must have been very cheap. But he had these old guys that were regulars that would come in, and he would bring stuff from San Jose to the shop in Monterey specifically for these deals. And he had all this great stuff, and these old guys were into this, and I didn't really understand why this was so important, why they just collected this title. But now, looking at it at this moment, I totally get it. Those guys were of the generation that they grew up with this. This was their stuff. They recognized that this was the best stuff, that it was better than Superman, and that this is what they were collecting when they were in their 50s and 60s in 1978. That's it. That's exactly it. Okay, here's the return of Mr. Tawny. It looks like it's a court scene. Your Honor, on the testimony of this witness, Captain Marvel, I maintain that my client Tom Todd is innocent. There's that jacket again from the cover. It's a little bit tighter. The checkers are smaller. The color is better. It's black and green. It looks better than, what is it on the cover? Ugh. Orange and yellow. The whole thing. This is a great panel. I like how he looks. How he's got the tail stick, everything. It's funny. This is funny to me. It's funny. It's just odd, right? What's the whole story? Why is this happening? Who is Mr. Tawny that is a talking tiger? Is he from a tiger world? I guess we find out in this story. Was he a tiger at the beginning? This is the flashback. Here we go. You guys ready? Yes. In fact, he's involved in the story of how I learned to talk. Years ago in the jungle, I became a motherless cub one day. My mother was shot. Tom Todd found me and befriended me. He was only a boy then, the son of a kind missionary. He's hungry. Can we keep him, Daddy? Sure, son. I'm Blue. I need a name for him. Let's see. I'll call him Mr. Tawny. Wait, why? He took him to school with him, and he learned to read and write. School's over. Let's go for a romp now, Mr. Tawny. Whee! Off we go. That seems unlikely. Deep in the jungle we found. Man, this is. Wait, what? My boy, let's let your tiger drink this. I was just going to try it on a wild animal. It's a serum that will energize his brain and enable him to use his vocal cords for speech. Lap, lap. The serum worked, and I was able to express all the knowledge I had silently absorbed when I went to school with Tom. Hello, Tom. Say, it sure is swell to talk like you humans. He talks. Yippee! I didn't know that this was Mr. Tawny's origin story. Thank you, sir. So I'm accused of killing, eh? Come on, Tom. Wow, the panels are great again. He's going to fight another tiger. Now, he explained all that stuff to Billy Batson. We get an outstanding, really cool Shazam, and we get this really cool silhouette panel. So I guess Gomer Pyle read this too. I just realized that. So was it Gomer Pyle that read this, or was it Jim Nabors? Think about that for a second. So Gomer, the character Gomer, he would have read this, and was that written in for him by the writers, or was that Jim Nabors? Was that Jim Nabors channeling the character of Gomer Pyle that was only him? No one else could ever be Gomer Pyle, and after that, Jim Nabors couldn't be anything but Gomer Pyle. He was Gomer Pyle forever, and it's a great show, Gomer Pyle USMC. You should watch it. Anyway, it's a good show. A lot to be learned on that show. So Gomer, he says Shazam as an exclamation when he sees something that's awesome or that surprises him, or he says Shazam. I bet you got it from this. Where else would he get it from? It didn't exist before that wizard. Easy way to change a fuse. You need an Everready. All right. One toke over the line, sweet Jesus. One toke over the line. Sitting downtown by the railway station. One toke over the line. Waiting for the train to come home, sweet Mary. The train is on time. Sabrina's Christmas Magic. Foremost. Could be for some. This is a drowning. This is just a crazy cover. This is a lady. I forget her name that did these. They're really good. Oh no, I'm wrong. It's Jim Wilcox. Why was I thinking it was a lady? There's another lady. There's a lady anyway. I thought it was a lady. Looks like we got a bunch of Foremost. This is an odd title. Again, nobody wants this, or nobody really wanted this, but it's got Dick Hole in it. That's why I think it's funny. That's why I got it. It's not why I got it. I'm just kidding. But I did think that was funny, because I'm a weirdo. But I thought that was funny, Dick Hole. Because it sounds like Dick Hole, right? This is a great cover. They're playing football, but it's 1940 something. Shit. Oh man. All right, you guys are gonna have to look at this Car 54. I have to solve a major issue. We're gonna go into break. One toke over the line, sweet Jesus. One toke over the line. Waiting downtown at the railway station. One toke over the line. Waiting for the train to come home, sweet Mary. Hoping that the train is on time. Sitting downtown at the railway station. One toke over the line. So far away, doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It would be so fine to see your face at my door. Okay, Car 54. I'm back. I hope you guys are okay, doing all right. Thanks for holding. Operators are waiting. Car 54, where are you? The Shaggy Dog and the Absent-Minded Professor special giant double feature. This is like going to the movies in 1974. This is like the two movies that you would see in 1974 as a double feature. Here's another one like that. It's The Misadventures of Merlin Jones, starring Dean Jones, I think. Is that who that is? This is a really smart monkey, and this is Annette Funicello. This was a good one. This was the $1 Million Duck. I wanted this duck so bad. And this kid, I mean, look at him. He looks like he's going to cry. Ooh, it would have been so easy to steal the duck from this kid. I think he cries a bunch in this movie. Punk. Golden Eggs. This is another great one. I love these Flubber movies. We were talking about Fred MacMurray earlier. Here he is. You know, you liked him in those serious roles where he played a heel, you know, where he was a tough guy. I prefer him as the absent-minded professor in The Son of Flubber. This is how I'm familiar with the acting prowess of Fred MacMurray. This is the pinnacle of the MacMurray career, is when he invented Flubber, and there was these great, this was an amazing scene. A lot of these movies, they ended in athletic events. It would be like the final climax of the movie would be a big sporting event. That happened a lot. This kid, something bad happened to this kid. I forget his name. Bobby Driscoll. This is Bobby Driscoll. So he was one of those early Disney stars that went south, real far south. He had a hard time. It was like Amanda Bynes himself before Amanda Bynes. Here's the PT-109. It's Cliff Robertson on the cover. This is the story of the PT-109. JFK's PT boat. This could be really good. This looks great. I saw this movie when I was a kid, and I remember really liking it when I was like, I don't know, like 13 or 14 on Dialing for Dollars or something. It was good. All right. Did anybody see anything good in there that they want to look at like right now? Like I don't know. Because I can't pick. There's all these Disney comics that look okay. This is not a good comic. The cover is great, and this is a good show, but the art in here isn't good. I already know. Foremost, all of this is good. There's lots of jokes in here. It would be really easy to make fun of this comic. There might be something funny in here. I'm not saying that the jokes will be good. I'm not saying that any of the things that I say are funny, but I try. And that is the basis kind of the show. When we go through these old things, I like to find stuff that makes me, I don't know, make shit up that's kind of funny. Let's go with this. This is the best cover. This is the best comic we've seen so far out of that. We looked at all that stuff. This is the one that's got red and yellow on it, right? It's the most attractive. It probably sold really well just because of the colors. Curtis Distributed. Curtis. Oh, man. This is from 1948. Get out of my room, Curtis. I told you to knock. That's like a line from Spicoli says that in Fast Times. So in Fast Times, I'm pretty sure that that Jeff Spicoli's younger brother is named Curtis, which is a real funny little brother name for 1982 or 1983, whenever Fast Times came out. But I'm pretty sure he says, "Get out of my room, Curtis. I told you to knock first." But then there's another famous line with Curtis, and it's from Up in Smoke. Curtis is the name of the drug dealer that dresses like a pimp and that comes up to Cheech's car with the fake diamond ring, and he proves to Cheech that it's a real ring by scratching his window. And then they buy weed from him and go back to the house, and he's like, "Come on, Curtis, this isn't real weed," or something like that. Curtis fucks him over. There was a Curtis line I'm not thinking of. Something. Oh yeah, it's Curtis. It's always Curtis. Where'd you get this weed from, Curtis? And that's what I think Chong says, that the weed is really shitty because they got it from Curtis. And then one guy, tells him to shut up. That he wants, shut up, Juan. Give me some cookies. Yeah, they're all high and watching cartoons or something. Foremost, adventure thrills with Kit Carter, Dick Hole, Edison Bell, Lem the Grim. Foremost, value 52 pages. Foremost. Hmm. It's limiting. So you're limiting your customer base. You're already telling your customer base that it's not for everyone, it's for most. Some of you out there aren't going to get it. It's not going to be for you. You don't deserve it. We start right off with a letters page. It's 1948. What are kids writing in to Foremost about? I have just finished reading your winter issue of Foremost. Whew. Isn't that like the name? Shouldn't that be the name of like cheese? Foremost milk, foremost sour cream. You asked the reader's opinion on your news strip. My opinion of Grover and Bonnie is that they're the best you've ever put in your book. But best of all, I like Dick Hole. Why? Because I like football and Dick is always playing football. He also has a nice girl. She sticks with him always. But to get back to your question, please keep Grover and Bonnie in your comic book. Frank Dutra, U.S. Navy. So it's not kids. It's just everybody because it's for most. This comic is for most. When you open it up, oh my goodness, look at the splash page for Dick Hole. Dick Cole has a fantastic splash page. It looks really good. Look at how this is drawn. First of all, he's running, one fist forward in a cadet's uniform because he goes to some sort of military school. He probably got in trouble for stealing something or not stealing something. He was wrongly accused. He's at Port Arms. This is what that's called, Port Arms. There's a big balloon, and there's all this line work, this crazy line work that looks like Winsor McKay or something. Look at that. Right? And he's still at Port Arms. Pock. What's at the bottom of the page? Oh, this stuff distracts me when they do this. The next issue of this magazine will go on sale October 6th. Don't miss it. Question. Who wrote or drafted the Declaration of Independence? Okay. This isn't as bad as like what what Stan Lee would do would annoy me. The stupid shit he would put at the bottom. Bothered me when I was like 10 or 12. You're interrupting me in the middle of a Avengers or Hulk comic to read a stupid advertisement at the bottom. But this is educational. Oh, look at that Woody pulling the balloon. It's Thomas Jefferson who penned the famous Declaration on July 4th, 1776. 250 years ago, 3 days ago. We're safe, or is it 4 days ago? We're safe now, so we're headed for what we head for the hideout. Wouldn't this slow them down considerably? Yeah, it would. It would be. This is dangerous. There's no telling what would really happen if you did this in real life. This is super sketch. Don't do that. Unless you consult a physician. This is Thunderbolt Ross. That hairdo, man. I could probably achieve that. I don't think so. I don't have enough in the middle and on top to even get that fake widow's peak thing he's got going there. It's a bungle in the jungle, but it's all right. Thop by me, yeah. I'm a tiger when I want love. But I'm a snake when we disagree? Is that what he says? I don't know the lyrics to that song, man. I got drunk at the bar today on the patio. We did. It wasn't just me. I wasn't just sitting there getting drunk on the patio. In the sun, too. So it makes each drink like it's like a double, but it's really only a single. But because of the sun, it makes it feel like a double, really, because you get real dehydrated and such. And charge. Champion jacket. Lem the Grem. This is a comic about a gremlin. This is him. His name is Lem. And he won a baseball game. He like rescued this baseball team, and they won the pennant because of Lem the Grem. There's a lot of questions, a lot of answers at the bottom of the page. It's not for everybody. It's just for most. Not for everyone. Whoa. Let's go back. What is going on? Lem has his fingers inside of some guy's mouth. And a few pins to keep him open. Ach. A few pinches to open up their big mouths. What the heck? Is he kicking ass on this streetcar or something? He's like he's messing around, man. Lem the Grim. Fear scent. Ooh. Fear scent? Is that it? Yeah, otherwise it would be tear scent. That's a weird title, isn't it? I mean, I guess that's because the wolf is scenting his fear. The wolf can smell his fear. I smell your fear. You escaped prisoner. I'm gonna eat your ass. I hope that's what happens. Edison Bell. So this is a kid genius. All right. It's the lettering is a big throwback. So this is 1948. They're not doing stuff like this in 1948. This is like nostalgic for people that aren't kids that are reading this, I think. Because this is 48 really. This is kind of dated, that weird font. Look at him. That hair, dude. This guy's got it. He totally got it going on. He looks like yeah. Look at this kid. He looks like what was that? Ian Ziering from Beverly Hills 90210. The blonde, the worst looking one. He actually kind of looks like him. That jacket, the cut on that jacket is like that Eisenhower Bolero thing going on. Man, this looks good. So anyway, this is a boy genius. His name's Edison Bell. See what I'm saying? Like Thomas Edison and Alexander Graham Bell all together. Billy Idol hair. Oh, thanks, John. Looks fine. I didn't notice that before. Thank you. It does. I'm looking at the screen right now. It does look pretty good. Yeah, he even kind of looks a little like Billy Idol. He's really well drawn. This stuff is very well drawn. This is drawn again. I talk about this a lot, or I say this, and I'm probably wrong. I don't think I am though. Anyway, certain comic books in the golden age weren't drawn by people that were only comic book artists. This is an artist that also drew for advertising. He's an illustrator. I don't know the name of this artist that did Edison Bell, but this guy didn't just draw comic books. This guy drew all kinds of things. Comic books were just a part of what was happening, and so this guy's talent was of use in many other areas. He wasn't just doing this. I mean, this guy draws perfectly. It's all perfect. I look at this and it just looks great. But I mean, I'm a weirdo. But I'm just saying everything, the whole thing is done very expertly. This is going to teach you how to make your own totem pole at home, which I think is really cool. They even show you how to make a base for it right here. You can use some blocks or anything, wooden blocks, I guess, or just a piece of 2x2. And then you could carve it and make it into a totem pole. And then I guess you could evoke some elder god. You could sacrifice something like a neighbor's cat and get Quetzalcoatl to come and I don't know, curse your bullies. Teepee tent. Now they're teaching you how to. So first we had the totem pole. Now you can make a teepee in the backyard. I'll allow it. Hey, what's up, Bronco? How's it going, bro? Welcome. We're about an hour in, and we've looked at about 4 comic books. Maybe not even that many. Maybe we've looked at about 3 comic books, but so far we've just been looking at Golden Age comic books. Slowly. Not every single one, just the stuff that looks good. This is the Cadet with Kit Carter. This guy's on the cover of this particular issue, and this, I forget his sidekick's name, the kid with the glasses. This is a readable strip right here. It's happening here. They've got something going on here. There's a fire behind them. They don't have guns. Sometimes they have guns. So anyway, these are more cadets. So this is like a running thing. A theme was to have comics about young men going Boytrin the Boyglet. Is that over here? Look at that. Anyway, they're cadets at a military school, and it's a mystery, action, comedy, thriller kind of thing that happens, and it's pretty good actually. Look at how cool the art is. Look at these circular panels. Isn't that great? That's a really nice one. Crack. See what I'm saying? These are like high school kids. This is a prep school. They're cadets at a prep school. Look at how good that is. Kit Carter is what this is called. Nobody even knows about this. Nobody even cares. Because the reason why is because the marketing was terrible. They just said the comic is for most. They didn't say for all. It should be called for all, not for most, because you're excluding people. It's really good. Damn, this looks good. You can get these little outfits. I wonder how big the sizes go to. Do they have men's? Do they have husky? Boys size 14 husky. That's what I'm wearing currently. I have a 26-inch waist. Do they have that? I'll take either one. Either one will be fine. Foremost Fun. And on the back, we've got a Schwinn ad. Very joyful. So joyful. This looks like it's drawn by the guy that drew Edison Bell, doesn't it? See what I was saying? Great comic book. Foremost. So here's the thing about Foremost. Like a lot of the older comics that I own, the reason why I have a stack of Foremost, and this isn't even all of my Foremost collection, the reason why I started buying these and reading these is it was about 15 years ago when I discovered these, and they were very inexpensive. Nobody else, as far as Golden Age comics go, no one was really interested in these, and especially at this condition. These are like 2.5s, 3s, 3.5s, something like that. Maybe some of them are a little better condition, but I wasn't paying much more than $5 a piece for these. Really, that was kind of like my cutoff point. What I was doing when I was buying these is I was not buying any new comic books at the comic shop because they were $2.99, $3.99, $4.99 a piece, and they were crappy. And so I discovered that I could find Golden Age comics for the same price as a brand new comic in like 2015 or 2013 whenever I bought this. And I was like, wow, this is $3.99 or this is $4.24 or whatever I paid for this, something like that. And I would say, shit, let me try these. I'm like, what could hurt? It's $4. I'll buy Foremost. So I bought one issue of Foremost and I read it and I was like, holy crap, are there more of these? And then I discovered there's plenty more. Nobody really wanted them, man. This was 15 years ago. Maybe times have changed. I haven't looked. But that's how I got into these. That's how I got into Foremost. I would have never even known what this was. I just noticed it was so inexpensive. And I saw how cool one of these covers was. Whatever the first one I bought was, I was like, damn, that cover's cool. Yeah, none of these were the first one that I bought. But that's the story of why I have this odd comic. And these are out there. You could probably find it very cheap comparatively to other stuff of the same genre if this interests you. This is a real esoteric interest in comic book. This is not, you see what you saw what it was. Matter of fact, let's look at one more. I like this cover a lot. There's other covers by that same artist and some other artists that are also really good. But it's interesting to look at up close, that cover. When we get it out of the bag, I'll take a look at it. We'll see. Let's see what else is in this stack. I might change my mind when I see over here. This is all Disney stuff. It is. So let's look at this real quick, and then we'll move on and pull out another stack out of the box, because there's better stuff. I don't know if I really feel like getting into the Disney comics right now, unless somebody really wants to. So this is just this really odd cover. It covers everything, right? I mean, every spot is taken up by this image. The entire image is covered in art, and it's one piece, and it's an underwater piece. There's fishes, they're underwater, and there's a fight happening. He's punching this guy underwater. The guy looks like Harvey Pekar, and he's getting clocked. And this is Dick Hull. And he also, in addition to punching this guy in the jaw underwater, and he looks perfectly fine. He's not losing any oxygen. He's just chilling. But he's also rescuing this cat right here. He's rescuing this guy. We don't know who he is. These guys are both in flannel. It's an outdoors type thing going on here. And look at this. Is that an eel? Look at the boots. Look at the spikes on his boots. Look at how detailed it is. This is why we're looking at this. I mean, wow. This is wild. Look at that fish. His hat. Man, there's so somebody is outside making a sound right now. I've got so many animals around me, dude. The details on this underwater scene are wild. They are, Bronco. This is just, it's interesting stuff. It is wild. Look at the water in the foreground. The wisps, to make sure that we completely understand that we are underwater 100%. These little wisps that are covering up the image. The whole thing. So this is faded. This is like 70 years old, and it's obviously faded some. I think this used to be more red. I don't know. Maybe his shirt used to be red. I don't know. I haven't seen what this cover looks like when it's not faded, but maybe it isn't faded. I'm not really sure. Maybe this stuff is all yellow. Like maybe this is supposed to be this weird, crappy looking yellow color. I'm not really sure. So here we go again. So then, so I found these. I thought they were good. They were inexpensive. And then also I thought this is funny, because this is a funny character title, I think. Because they didn't get that at all. They didn't, when they wrote this, they didn't think that some kid might find this funny, because it could easily sound like Dick Hull instead of Dick Cole, right? You could say Dick Hull. My favorite comic hero is Dick Hull. And, this guy Dick Hull, he's just another one of these cadets, I think. He's like a cadet, or maybe he's got a job as a forest ranger. I don't know, but the art's ridiculously good. Again, it's very good. But this is, like I said, this is a weird esoteric taste that you kind of have, or a strange, you have to be sort of eccentric to think that this is great. Maybe, I don't know. This is so good. Look at these crazy circular, look at these panels. Man, look at that. See that? They're coming out of a hole in the page. Again, who is this? I forget the name of the company that makes this, but this also, like those Fawcett books that we've been looking at earlier tonight, this is a really heavy comic. Like, the pages are solid. It's not like a cheap news. It's thick, and This is, like I said, a low grade reading copy, and it's really still together, and it's about 70 years old or 80 years old. Maybe it's 80 years old. I think it's 80 years old. Yeah, it's 80 years old. It's from 1948. It's like 78 years old. It's cool. It's really neat. But yeah, heavy. These comics at this point were it's thick, it's heavy. It was made, I don't know, even though this was ephemeral to them at the time, it's the quality of the paper, the the staple is all heavy and everything. It's all this is like a heavy. Look at this thing. Heavy comic, like in hand. Pepsi, the Pepsi Cola. What is this? I don't remember seeing a Pepsi ad in a comic book like this. Pepsi, the Pepsi Cola Cop. Gerp, help, help, Bozo's escaping. This gorilla, is that the cop? Yeah, it's Pepsi. Gosh, Pete, you don't even feel this. What a thick skull, just like the Chief's skull. Eh, Pepsi? Holy mackerel, what does that say? Hype? Bullets only tickle this gorilla. Ain't there nothing that'll stop him? Woo, this job calls for a quick Pepsi Cola. He's shooting at this gorilla, and the bullets are bouncing off. Look how cool the gorilla looks. He's gleeful. Save some for me, Pepsi. So Pepsi's not he's the little guy, the little portly cop. He's an older gentleman. He has a gray mustache. When the going's tough and you've lots to do, Pepsi Cola is the drink for you. Hell yes. All right, that's catchy. That's a catchy phrase. The image is interesting. How he's tipping that bottle all the way up, and it's not a cartoon bottle. It looks kind of realistic. He's going to put a cannon into action and kill the gorilla with a big cannon. Clunk. Well, he's not dead. They're taking him away. But when you want to make a monkey out of thirst, just call for a big Pepsi Cola. Well, I've never seen that ad before. Never heard of Pepsi, the Pepsi Cola Cop. Here's Edison Bell again. Uh, we looked at Edison Bell in the last issue of Foremost, and it's very well drawn, and it's kind of pleasantly beautiful to look at. As I said, I think the lettering is purposefully dated. I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't know. This is an all ages comic for most, but it seems like a young adult would be reading this more. I could be wrong. It just looks really nice. These little drawing heads. Drawing hands. Look at that. That's just nice. Funny faces. The stuff that's happening up here. Edison Bell's a boy genius. He's got the first name of Thomas Edison and the last name of Alexander Graham Bell. And he's the illegitimate love child of those two geniuses. And Edison Bell, he embodies the spirit of his two fathers. Top man. Okay. Boy, it's keen. A real metal, rapid-firing G-boy repeating cap pistol. Wow, that's cool. I like this. Let's look at this. Oh, he's so proud. Man, it's an automatic. Looks like one of those little Russian Makarovs is what it looks like. I'm not really a fan of it. It's un-American in design. The design of that pistol looks like a pawn shop pistol. Right? I'm good. The Cadet featuring Kit Carter. Here we go again. You know, this is another comic about boys that live at school all the time. They never leave school. Did they want real boys to go to military school? You think? You think maybe Foremost was somehow involved in some sort of boys' academy in real life, or maybe some sort of chain of boys' academies, and they're trying to convince people that the normal thing to do is to send your sons to military school, to boarding school? Kind of seems that way. They're kind of glorifying this lifestyle of not having parents and getting to live in a dorm with all your friends and wearing these uniforms. It's a strange uniform. It looks like a bellboy at a hotel. It does. Um, I took my finger thing off because it was bothering me. Fleer's double bubble gum. No, that's making me want gum. Now I'm hungry for gum. Damn it. Candid Charlie. So, so this cat, this is the first time we've seen Candid Charlie. These are good. He's a photographer, but he's also an adventurer, but he's also a kid. And there's a, if I remember right, this is one of the ones that has that's got some cheese in it. Oh, I got to get up and stretch. So, take a look at Candid Charlie for a second while I readjust my ball sack and stretch my back. Whew. I had mojitos today. That's where my buzz came from. It was rum and mint. It was muddled. She muddled it together for me, and I had three mojitos. And we ended up on the roof with some umbrellas because I was telling him that this building is not too high to jump off of with an umbrella, and these kids were saying that they did not believe me, and I was telling them that yes, I will prove it to you. Get me the umbrellas. So once we all acquired an umbrella, we made our way to the roof. This is these three like 30 somethings that I met at the bar today. One of them was a girl and she smelled great, apparently. I woke up from my nap and I could still smell her. Anyway, we all got up to the roof with our umbrellas, and I guess it was about 4 p.m. at this point because we've been day drinking all afternoon in the sun. So luckily somebody called the cops, and thank God. So they came, and everything was fine. Everybody was safe, and nothing happened. And not even, ooh, look at this. A big deal. See what I told you? Look at the side boob with the nipple. This is all intentional. Look at the guy smoking the pipe right there. See that? That's supposed to be you. Or this guy with the glasses checking out the side boob, and look at the skirts above her knee. It's a big deal. 1948 to draw a girl with a skirt above her knee. It's not there just because. It's there because people like to see it. People like to look at that. Okay. Merkin? Is it going to be Merkin the Gherkin? Didn't people say that? Wasn't that in that movie Hollywood Nights? Merkin Gherkin. Dude, come on, man. Come on. Is gherkin a type of pickle? But that sounds like you're making fun of something. I mean, it sounds like it's a masturbation reference, like from like eighth grade. Dude, what are you, Merkin the Gherkin? What were you doing Friday night? Merkin the Gherkin? I tried to call. Your mom said you were in the shower. And I called a half hour later. She said you were still in the shower. What were you doing? Merkin the Gherkin? Merrily Pedals helps Betty make new friends. Merrily Pedals. It's a bike ad. Oh, God, look at this. Oh, she's cute. So she's helping other girls to. This obviously isn't in the Middle East. This sort of thing could get you executed, get you stoned. They'll bury you in a hole up to your curls, and throw rocks at you if you teach girls how to ride bicycles in some countries in the Middle East. Uh, okay, let's get a better stack. Unless you, if anybody wants to pipe in about any of these Disney comics that we saw, like if you want to look inside of one of these things, speak now or forever hold your peace. Because we're not done yet, but the stuff that I'm going to pull out next is better. I mean, as far as Disney stuff goes, this is even better. It's Spin and Marty and the Vanishing of Vaquero. And look at this cover. It's a photo cover and it's purple. And he's got a lantern. These guys are also at camp, like perpetually at camp, these guys. Their whole deal. These two cats, they're not brothers, they're friends. Even though like they're these guys, maybe they used to be the Hardy Boys or something, I don't know. But now they're Spin and Marty, they're friends, they're senior counselors at some boys' summer camp, and it's like a dude ranch, like cowboy camp. They're always getting in adventures, and this is a great comic. That's a great cover. So that's good. That's actually good. Here's some more movie comics. The Castilian. It's a nice cover. Look at that. The flaming story of conflict and conquest on the battle-scarred plains of medieval Spain. Nice. That's nice. Operation Bikini. Now we're talking. This is a Frankie Avalon cover. He's a hard ass. I think that's Tab Hunter over there, too. Is that who that is? Is that Tab Hunter and Frankie Avalon and this Amerasian girl? They're on Bikini Atoll, and but they're making it seem that's why it's see what they're doing. Operation Bikini. They think that they're making you think that there's gonna be girls in bikinis in this movie. I don't think there is at all. I don't think there is any girls in bikinis in this movie. Round the World Under the Sea. This has got that guy from the man from Uncle in it. And then is that Lloyd Bridges? And there's a giant moray eel. That looks great. I've seen one of these up close in Jamaica. It could have bit me right in the fucking face. Could have bit my hand easily. And I was just fucking with it. I wasn't fucking with it, teasing it or anything. But I mean, I was just right in front of it, snorkeling and just letting it come. I mean, we were right face to face. I know. In this coral, in this spot. Did a lot of snorkeling in Montego Bay, a ton. And I've seen these guys up close and also manta rays, huge ones, like 10-foot fucking wingspan, like swimming directly right towards me. Just free diving, no tanks, nothing. Just a snorkel or free diving with the snorkel underwater and then coming up. It was a blast. I got a bunch of crazy conch shells. I got a huge conch shell that I took off the bottom of the bay. I used to love the free dive. Fighting Indian Warrior Arrowhead. Now this is awesome. He's got two bad guys that he's kicking. He's landing moccasin head kicks. Double moccasin head kick. Hell yes. That's great. Let's leave that there for a second. I'm going to put some of these foremost back in the bag for in a second. That's what I'm doing right now. Rebag and stuff and just kind of sitting up to rest a little bit. It's okay just to have stuff on the screen like that, right? I don't have to constantly be turning pages and shit. Very nice. It cooled down finally. It's a nice night right now. It was really hot today. Like, I mean, at least for here. It's not like LA or, yeah, mainly that, or the Valley. I know in the Valley it's like 102 and stuff like that. It's not like that here. A hot day for us is like 94, 96. But it's gonna at the end of the summer it'll get to be 100, maybe in August. I'm trying to fill the whole screen. I'm looking at my TV and looking at the image that's on the live screen right now, on the live stream. And then I'm looking at my table trying to make it look a little bit better for everyone. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Welcome. This is the Meyer Greenblatt channel. It's kind of an everything channel. Started this channel, first it was an IRL live, well, it was surfing first, where I was filming myself and other people surf in the beach every day. And then it was an IRL live channel for a short time. And then YouTube changed to the thing or something. You used to be able to just stream live from your phone. It didn't matter how many subscribers you had. This was a long time ago. So then I didn't upload anything for a long time, and then I completely changed the channel. I renamed it and deleted all the old videos. It was about 5 years ago. And it became a vintage toy channel because at the time it was a new hobby I had discovered. And then it just became more toys of different types, and then it became comic books and books and magazines, and then it became these vlogs where I showed where I lived, and I walked around the beach in the city where I lived, and I try and be funny, I sing songs, I talk a little bit about myself and my friends, I tell stories, sometimes make videos about my real life and my family and my friends, and it's like an everything channel. And I cook sometimes. These days, there's cooking. There's me trying to be funny late at night. There's toy reviews that I do in 3 minutes in shorts that I started doing because I watch a lot of toy reviews, and before I buy toys, sometimes action figures, not just regular, it's not just toys. It's mostly action figures that I collect, and some vinyl toys. So when I'm buying a toy, I search YouTube to see a review of that toy and see, if there's anything wrong with this figure, if there's a reason why it's on sale and it's from 4 years ago and nobody buys it, or things like that. Oh, thanks, Bronco. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Always be murking your gherkin. I agree. So I watched these reviews, and then it just kind of came into my head that if I could do it in a short, under 3 minutes, and kind of cover everything. So if somebody is looking to see if they want to see what the figure looks like, or the car, or the vinyl or the Godzilla or whatever, I hold it up close to the camera and talk about it for 2 minutes and 56 seconds. And that's what I've been doing recently. And thank you, Bronco. I appreciate it. But then now I decided I want to do more long form stuff. I just kind of decided today. Today I was like, I should get back to videos. I've been focusing so much on shorts, and I should do live streaming, and we'll make more videos. I enjoyed that. The other night I went out downtown the night before the 4th of July and walked around, and I go out a lot, and I don't film at all. But then sometimes I'll just get an itch to filming, and then when I watch the video later, I'm like, wow, that was pretty good. I watched that one, and I was like, I should do more of that. So we'll see. It all just happens completely organically. Most of it with no planning at all. Everything's done with one take. I do very little research before. I don't write any scripts or lines. I don't do any editing. I make mistakes and I just keep moving, and I don't care. And that's kind of what the channel is. The whole channel is all no edits. It's all ad libs. Everything is an ad lib. There's no redos, like, especially if it's like, I don't reshoot it. I just want it to be the way it is. This is a great cover. Look at that. Fighting Navy. Look at this character. Wow, who is this guy? He was their U-boat ace. He was their symbol of victory. Don't miss his downfall. Vonderhawk. Vonderhawk seeks 100. Sinks 100. He's got, is that maybe an Iron Cross? I don't know, but I like the cigarette holder, the scar, piercing blue eye. One piercing blue eye. That's great. That's nice cover. That's cool. Boom. Heavy hitter now. Oh, I missed that. Let me see what that says. Sorry about that, dude. Man, I can't get the chat to come back up.